Welcome back to my channel. I hope that you are doing well today. Okay, so we've got a lot to cover in today's video, or in this video, because I've dropped a couple of videos throughout the day as well. One previous that you should actually take a look at if you haven't. It's a pretty important sharing. It's about the missing Broadway star Zaylick Williams. There's a search that is expanded for his missing status, and so there's information there that I really wanted to make sure I had out on the platform and out to you guys, along with a contact information in case you should see, hear, or know anything and want to contact the authorities in regarding that. So for this video, we are going to change gears, and we're going to be talking about Miley Cyrus. As you know, there's so much going on in the news that this is a story that I came across that was quite a bit happening in her world at the moment. And so I thought I'd share it with you guys and give my take and see what you're thinking about and what your thoughts are respectfully down below as well. So apparently it appears that Miley Cyrus is being sued by Bruno Mars over the award-winning Flowers song. Apparently, she also had some connection with American Idol as a possible judge in replacing Katy Perry, and that deal apparently went a bust. She also shared her feelings in regards to how Flowers, the song, came about and who it's connected with, and it appears to be connected with her ex-husband Liam Hemsworth. So we'll get into that as well. And then lastly, we're going to go ahead and scoot on over to Katy Perry because apparently there's still some connection with her into the concept of American Idol and what that may have looked like for her beyond the time frame that she had already been a coach, because she's had also a string of unfortunate events take place for her, and which there was a reporting that she was trying to get back onto the show. So we're going to get into the details of that as well. So go ahead and sit back and let's go ahead and get into the first one. First one we're going to be covering is Bruno Mars lawsuit suing Miley Cyrus. Now, according to FoxBusiness.com, Miley Cyrus is accused of copying Bruno Mars in lawsuit over song Flowers. Now, the lawsuit claims that Miley Cyrus' Flowers has a striking similarities to Bruno Mars' When I Was Your Man. Now, Miley Cyrus is being sued for allegedly copying one of Bruno Mars' hit songs. Tempo Music Investments, which owns a share of the copyright to Mars' song When I Was Your Man, sued Cyrus for striking similarities in her popular song Flowers, according to court docs obtained by Fox Business. Now, any fan of Bruno Mars' When I Was Your Man knows that Miley Cyrus' Flowers duplicates numerous melodic, harmonic, and lyrical elements of When I Was Your Man, including the melodic pitch design and sequence of the verse, the connecting bass line, certain bars of the chorus, certain theatrical musical elements, lyric elements, and specific chord progressions, they claimed in court docs. Now, Flowers did not achieve all of that success on its own, the lawsuit stated. Tempo further says in a quoted sharing, "It is undeniable, based on the combination and number of similarities between the two recordings, that Flowers would not exist without When I Was Your Man." This, according to Tempo Music Investments. Now, the Count on Me hitmaker 38 was not mentioned as a plaintiff in the lawsuit filed on Monday in Los Angeles federal court. Co-writers Gregory Hine and Michael Pollack were listed in the lawsuit for the alleged unauthorized exploitation of the song. Multiple defendants, along with Sony Music Publishing and Apple, were additionally named in the court docs. Mars' hit When I Was Your Man was written by the singer Philip Lawrence, Ari Levine, and Andrew Wyatt. Now, Tempo Music Investments claimed in the documents that it acquired the copyright interest of Mars' track in or around 2020. The lawsuit says the opening vocal line from the chorus of Flowers begins and ends on the same chords as the opening vocal line in the verse of When I Was Your Man. The music investment platform demanded Cyrus 31 and the defendants listed in the lawsuit stop reproducing, distributing, or publicly performing Flowers. Now, Tempo Music Investments is additionally seeking damages, but the amount is still undetermined. Reps for Cyrus had no comment, while reps for Mars did not immediately respond to Fox News Digital's request for comment. Now, the lawsuit between the two music stars comes after Cyrus earned her first set of Grammy wins for Record of the Year and Best Pop Solo Performance at the 66th Annual Awards Show in February. Cyrus performed the song live at the ceremony, and Flowers won Best International Song at the Brit Awards earlier this year. Flowers became an overnight sensation, debuting at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart and breaking the record to become the fastest song to reach 1 billion streams on Spotify. Meanwhile, after more than 16 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100 charts in April of 2013, Mars' song When I Was Your Man climbed to #1. Mars also received a Grammy nomination for Best Pop Solo Performance for the song in December 2013 and in 2014. The song won the award for Most Performed Song at the Pop Music Awards hosted by the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers, ASCAP or ASCAP. In May 2021, When I Was Your Man was awarded its 11th platinum certification. So there you have it. That seems to be what is going on at current in regards to that lawsuit. We haven't heard anything else, any updates to this sharing as of yet. I am going to actually continue to, looking out for any updates regarding this, and I'll definitely be bringing those updates to you guys since I'm initially sharing with you in the first place on the platform. What are your thoughts? Have you listened to the song When I Was Your Man from Bruno Mars? I personally like Bruno Mars, but I'm not a fanatic per se, so I don't know a lot of his music selections. I'm not saying you have to be a fanatic to like the selections. Just saying I don't really know much about, some of his songs, but I do know he's a major pop star. So that being said, I'm curious if you have heard the song and if you felt that it is similar. How does it sound to you? I would be curious to know. So, I would say for sure more to come, and we will see how that lands. And again, I will be bringing that to you. But throw your thoughts down below in the comment section if you wish. So let's go on to the second sharing, and that is conversation in regards to the inspiration behind Flowers and how that connects and relates to her ex-husband, Liam Hemsworth. So that being said, according to HinduStanTimes.com, Miley Cyrus wants to speak with ex-husband Liam Hemsworth for some closure amid Flowers' lawsuit. Now, Miley Cyrus struggles with past trauma as a lawsuit regarding her song Flowers forces her to confront memories of Liam Hemsworth. While Miley Cyrus is in love with her boyfriend, Max Morando, the ghosts of the past seem to haunt her. Cyrus and her ex-husband, Liam Hemsworth, parted their ways 5 years ago, but friends of the singer said that the lawsuit over revenge song Flowers is resulting in PTSD for her. They also said that this has also disrupted Morando and Cyrus's love paradise. Now, Flowers' lawsuits brings past trauma for Cyrus. A source exclusively told In Touch, Miley, for the most part, has put Liam behind her. But this business with the lawsuit has really set her off again and got her very anxious and freaked out because it's all coming out that she wrote the song about him. Now, Hemsworth and Cyrus had an on and off relationship for many years, including their first engagement being called off only to get married in 2018 in a private wedding ceremony. However, the couple called their quits in 2019. The source shared that the singer didn't exactly try to hide that the song was directed towards him, and it was really not something she wanted to be forced to talk about. However, now that a lawsuit has been filed, the source said it's looking like she may have to go on record in court and explain her motivations behind the song, which is just very, very painful. They added it's reopened old wounds that she thought were healed, but the level of emotion that has triggered has really made it clear she's got more healing work to do. Now, the biggest fear that looms over Cyrus's head is that she may have to connect with Hemsworth again. The source revealed she's now saying she wants to speak with Liam to give him a heads up and get some closure on the whole painful chapter, which isn't going over well with Max. The Flowers lawsuit, Cyrus was slammed with a lawsuit after various similarities between the Flowers and Bruno Mars When I Was Your Man released in 2013. The lawsuit was again filed in the Los Angeles court by Tempo Music Investments, who own a share of the copyright of Bruno's hit track, after they acquired Philip Lawrence, the songwriter's music catalog, in the lawsuit. Now, Tempo Music Investments allege that there are many recognized striking similarities between the two songs, and now if she reveals the inspiration behind her song, she will have to dive into her past relationship. An insider told the media outlet she was still very angry and hurt when she wrote that song. Now, this is quite interesting take. I would love to know your thoughts. Now, in regards to what I'm thinking, how I'm feeling about it, it is yet unfortunate that she's going through a lawsuit. One may say, what were the checks and balances before actually creating this music. There have been many celebrities, singers, songwriters, and whatnot who have had past lawsuits for infringement and copyright issues throughout the past. And so we're not, new to being aware of that type of a situation taking place. We also know that a lot of artists do what they do best is provide, their experiences, their hurt and pains, their thoughts, or others, individuals, examples of how they live in certain things, and they bring it into art form, into the music, and share it amongst the masses. And so that can be quite therapeutic and quite helpful for anyone who takes a listen to that song. And so that's what an artist does. And we know this to be true as well. Also knowing that, sometimes there are songs that come out that are very directly connected to individual artists and what their past experiences have been, whether they be negative or positive. And therefore, bringing up these types of things can be a situation in which can cause, new hurts and new trauma if it is something that's considered negative. Now, one may say, well, if you didn't want to have anyone be aware of issues or anything beyond what has been said out in the pop culture world in regards to your relationship with Liam, then maybe you might not have wanted to create that song. But, at the end of the day, a lot of artists do just that. When they're in pain and they're experiencing something, the one way that's very therapeutic for them tends to be anyways, and that a lot of them share, is doing it through the music. So that being said, I definitely, my heart goes out to her for any issues that she may have had in regards to that situation. Obviously, it was probably a very painful breakup. I would imagine, just for the fact that they had been together for so long, and it was on and off for a lot of that time. And it was also highly, publicized and put out there in the media world for a lot of us to see along the way. So when they did finally have their final split, and it apparently seemed that they both have been moved on. I believe he may have a significant other at this point as well. And she continued to date and now has landed herself apparently with an individual who she's very much seems to be in love with, at least according to the sharing. So it is unfortunate that these past relationship of a situation with someone is now potentially, according to Sharon, allegedly affecting what may be going on in her current situation. So a lot of times, some people will say, well, look, it's a past relationship. You got to get over it. And that's true. The question is, how do you get over it, right? The question is, what exactly do you need to do in order to help you process things before entering into a new relationship, or at least for the very minimum, preventing any baggage from a last relationship to enter into your new relationship. So this will be interesting to see how this shapes up. I don't know if we'll hear much more about the results of this particular sharing, but if so, I'll share the update if one is provided for us. But yeah, definitely the best thing for both, I'm sure, is for them to be able to peacefully coexist in a world where they don't have to really see each other. There was no kids between the two of them. And so they could move on completely as adults and go on to other enriching relationships and put that in the past. So one thing that obviously has bubbled up for her is apparently because she doesn't want to deal with the situation regarding the lawsuit, I'm sure, which is just because her feelings are a certain way about it doesn't mean it's going to stop anything, right? But if that is, I think that it is good that she is recognizing obviously that she may have some more work to do, and hopefully will do what she needs to do to address those lingering feelings and issues. Is it a situation where it makes sense for her to actually physically have a conversation with Liam? Maybe, maybe not. It is her choice. If it isn't a situation that she feels most comfortable with, maybe there's another way that she can find to communicate to Liam about the situation. But I guess, at the end of the day, it is up to her and what she's able to do. But that being said, I'd love to know your thoughts about this particular sharing as well. So definitely respectfully leave them down in the comment section. And yeah, we can definitely have a conversation about it. So let's go ahead and move on to the next sharing. And that is going to be apparently, I guess Miley Cyrus was set to potentially replace Katy Perry in the coaching or the judging sheet that Perry has had for, I guess it's 2016 maybe, or when the reboot occurred. But the deal for that apparently went a bust. And then there was some conversation about maybe Carrie Underwood being a great person to replace Katy Perry at the judges table. So let's go ahead and get into that sharing. Now, according to Daily Jane, Miley Cyrus high demands in deal to replace Katy Perry on American Idol. Now, the source suggested that the backup singer, Carrie Underwood, will take Katy Perry's seat. Now, Miley Cyrus was the top pick to replace Katy Perry as a judge on American Idol, but negotiations fell through due to financial constraints. Now, as per Life and Style, a source shared the show organizers are eyeing the flower crooner to add her on the panel, but her whopping salary demand became a barricade. The source suggested that backup singer Carrie Underwood will take the judge's seat vacated by the dark horse singer. It's well known internally. I don't know why I want to say internationally for some reason, but internally, Miley Cyrus was the network and the producer's first choice to replace Katy. But topping Katy's already high salary was never on the table, a network insider said. The Before He Cheats singer made a deal to take $12 million for the show alongside fellow judges Lionel Richie and Luke Bryan. Carrie really wanted to get on board with Idol, the source revealed. Now, the source added money wasn't a big motivation for her. It was more getting off the road from touring and being able to spend more time with her family. Now, producers still ponder what could have happened with the Wrecking Ball singer, as an insider stated. Miley would have brought a lot of Katy-like sass to American Idol. They continued, Carrie is more reserved and will be nicer to the contestants, but Idol still got the big name they sought and at a price they could swallow. To note, Carrie won the American Idol's fourth season in 2005. Now, me personally, I have not really watched an American Idol episode since probably 2003, 2004, and I dipped in 2007 when Jordan Sparks had won. And I'm familiar with Carrie Underwood, obviously, because I might have caught a couple of episodes during that season too, but I wasn't as engrossed in that show at that time. It pretty much kind of waned for me after the first 3 or 4 seasons or so. So that being said, are you still watching American Idol? Did you continue to watch it beyond the reboot? Because I was kind of shocked that they decided to do a reboot to that show, to be honest. But I guess it's still considered popular, so this is why it took place. American Idol is very much known for interchangeable judges. We have seen them so many over the years. Of course, we always remember the first 3 that started the foundation, which was Simon Cowell, Paula Abdul, and Randy Jackson, who will remain to be my favorite trio of judges for the show. And so there's been a lot of interchanging throughout the years. And of course, they did share about Lionel Richie and Luke Bryan, is that his name? And also Katy Perry taking over. And they've been doing it for quite some time. I want to say 2016, but it may not be 2016. It might have been 2020 or 2021 or something like that. I don't know. Maybe not as long as I'm thinking. But nevertheless, negotiations always fall through. Unfortunately, some make it, some don't. But are you shocked that Miley Cyrus was kind of pinned or really working through the process of her being the judge? Do you think she would have been a good judge for the show? Do you think that Carrie Underwood is a good, I hate to say replacement, but a good, person to switch off to? Or is there anyone else that you would think that might be able to fill that seat and make that show, be as it once was? I mean, obviously it's still popular enough to be on TV, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's massively popular for everyone. And so I'd wonder what you would think would be a good person to put in that place to replace Katy Perry. So definitely leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. Let's have a conversation about it. And so that now brings us to our last sharing for this video, and it's regarding Katy Perry and her connection still to American Idol in the midst of some things that she's unfortunately been dealing with most recently. So let's go ahead and get into that. Now, according to Radar Online, it says cranky Katy Perry begging American Idol bosses to give her back her seat after $15 million mansion was hit by flood and career tanks. Because as you know, she was looking to restart her career. And I did hear some rumblings and some issues in regards to that, but not much. So I guess we'll get into a little bit more details possibly in this sharing. So let's get into it. Katy Perry is pleading for her judge's seat back on American Idol, apparently, while battling a flooded home and a catastrophic flop of her latest album. Now, after announcing her resignation from the singing competition earlier this year, the pop icon has reportedly been scrambling to get back to the steady gig RadarOnline.com can reveal. Now, following Perry's 7-year stint with the Fox-turned ABC series, the 39-year-old said she wanted to shift back to focusing on her music comeback, as well as her family, including fiancé Orlando Bloom and their 3-year-old daughter Daisy. Now, Perry will be replaced by former Idol winner Carrie Underwood, who will judge alongside Lionel Richie and Luke Bryan for season 23 next spring. Now, sources now say Cranky Perry is pleading with American Idol producers to come back after her recent album, 143, flopped in sales and was trashed by critics. They said American Idol was a safe, steady gig for Katy now that her album has flopped. She's scrambling to reclaim her spot at the judges' table. It's clear sign even she knows her days as a chart-topping artist are behind her. But Carrie's got the gig now, and unless the new season is a ratings disaster, there's no way Katy's getting back in that chair. Perry released 143 on September 20th, featuring her single Woman's World, which was labeled as cringe and a dated attempt at a feminist anthem. It also was branded the most disastrous comeback single in recent memory by influential music publication NME. Ouch. The song peaked at number 63 on Billboard Hot 100 and charted for just 1 week, making it the weakest performance for a Perry lead single to date. Perry's decision to work with controversial producer Dr. Luke, known for facing a non-dismissed lawsuit from singer Kesha, who alleged the producer R''d her and emotionally abused her, is believed to have contributed to the flop album. Well, that would probably do it. Now, making matters worse, Perry was recently hit with another crisis when her $15 million mansion was left devastated by a water leak. Now, RadarOnline.com revealed the singer's massive home now needs sizable repairs. Now, Perry and Bloom previously won a court battle to purchase the property against 85-year-old Carl Westcott. The veteran filed a lawsuit in 2020 against Bernie Godovi, Perry's business manager, to undo a deal in regards to selling his property to the famous couple. Now, Westcott claims he had been recovering from back surgery and was heavily medicated when he signed the agreement. Now, Perry's team refused to cancel the agreement, and the court sided with the singer in phase 1 of the trial last year. Phase 2 of the trial is to determine the amount of damages Westcott will have to pay. However, he recently asked for phase 2 to be postponed until a later date, explaining there were issues during the process of transferring the title in April. His lawyer said, namely, during escrow for the transfer of the title, the buyer and realtor showed up for a pre-agreed inspection of the house. He added, Mr. Westcott's house manager showed up to unlock the home. Upon opening the door, it was discovered that during the last 24 to 48 hours, a significant water leak in the house, feet of water, not inches, had occurred, which greatly expanded the scope of alleged repairs. A ruling from the judge is still pending. Ouch, 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 ouch. I mean, look, it's just a string of just those unfortunate situations, one after another. So first we have the flopped album, which I do recall her having a comeback. And you know, these judge shows can be really useful for many things, right? They could be a resting spot for you if you happen to be a very popular star and you want to take a break from the road or touring or what have you. It can also be a situation that allows you to springboard a comeback for your career or create a comeback altogether. It can definitely help. And just sometimes maybe if you're in a position where you kind of want to stay away from the spotlight and just be a mentoring force for the new artists coming up in the business. And so it's really unfortunate that such a reliable gig that she had is now gone to the wayside. And I personally agree with the Sharon. I don't see anything happening unless Carrie Underwood decides to bow out. And we already heard what her sharing and reason for actually being on the show. And I don't see her changing on that. You know, at the end of the day, Katy had her opportunity and then she decided to move on. So now I think sometimes maybe just continuing moving forward is probably the best direction. Sometimes you simply just can't go back. And so that appears to be that situation right now. And I just don't see Carrie Underwood stepping down because quite frankly, irregardless of whether she's more conservative or not, this is a great opportunity for her too. And she may surprise us and be a little bit more razzle dazzle than you may imagine initially. We will just have to see, right? And then, of course, the house situation, her mansion, the flooding in there, the leak, rather, same. Totally unfortunate. We all know what water damage can do to a property, and it can utterly, in most cases, destroy it. As we know, and continued prayers and thoughts to those who were affected by the two massive hurricanes that we just had, Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. There's many individuals who are dealing with very catastrophic situations at this time. You can most certainly understand what it feels like to maybe feel like you've lost everything, and if not, and two have lost everything. Katy Perry, at this point, she's at least, fortunate to not have to go through that situation. But it's interesting, the circumstances surrounding her purchasing the mansion, where it did seem like it was an issue where whether, don't know why the individual that was selling the home had decided to try to change it up, other than the reason given. But what really was the initial motivation for it? Was it that you didn't realize how much you could get for it and decided, maybe I don't want to let this go? Or is it more nefarious things that are attached to that situation? As it shared in the sharing, the judge had basically stated, hey, we're not going to move forward with, ending this deal. We're going to continue moving forward, and you'll have to now give damages. Now he's dealing with the issue. What kind of damages are we talking about? Because now are we concerned about the flooding situation, the leak situation? That's going to be something to, I'm thinking damages just for the fact of whatever was done monetarily to actually go to court. Not so much thinking about any damages or anything happening to the home itself. And is he really, at this point, considered responsible for that? I mean, they both parties signed to the sale of the home, and that doesn't necessarily mean that something happens and just because you sold off and sold the home and everything is signed off, that you could not go back and say, hey, look, there was something here that maybe y'all should have known. Because also, you do get inspectors and all that stuff. So I wonder what happened there, or it just been a freak accident, right? It just simply been just that. So it is a crazy situation. Like we said, 2024 has just not been very kind to a lot of celebrities and a lot of individuals as a whole. And so, I guess we'll have to see if her comeback, what that may look like, and if she is able to do something different. I know Orlando Bloom, he does still act, and it does say that they're still engaged. So they've been together a long time. So I know she was married previously. I'm not sure about him, but I guess that's not priority at this point. But they obviously are sharing expenses, so maybe he'll be able to help out a little bit. But I mean, quite frankly, this is a lot of scrambling she's going to have to do, I'm sure. And then is everything else going on, just the fact of what is she now going to do with her talent, her profession? What is next for her? It will be quite interesting. But something tells me don't count her out. Something may open up for an avenue to kind of get that back on board for her, and we'll see what may. I do know, and I did hear about some issues in regards to that controversial individual that she had been actually working with. And there was a lot of hoopla about that. And quite frankly, I'm sure that hoopla was known before she actually got into the space of working with him. And maybe should have listened. I mean, sometimes, certain things are okay to, leave out on the sword for yourself. Some things are not. Sometimes some risks are just not worth it. And I know that we're going through a shattering situation through Hollywood at this point, but I find it hard to believe that there wasn't any other talent that maybe could have helped in her endeavor versus going through another controversial star that is actually, in the situation that so many of our other stars and celebrities are going through right now and being accused of and being sued for and litigated against and all that kind of stuff. So, sometimes, certain things are just not what you want to fall on the sword for. So we'll see what happens with that. But I definitely would love to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. So please feel free to respectfully leave those down there. Let's have a conversation about it. And I think with that, I'm going to bid you adieu with this video. I totally, again, appreciate you being here. If you are new here and you have not gotten a chance to hit that subscribe button, I wish that you would go ahead and subscribe and be part of the family, as I would so love to have you. And definitely give the video a like, as I would so appreciate that as well. well. And definitely make sure you keep your all notification bells on, because I do have another video dropping on the platform in a few hours or so. And of course, I'll have many more in the future that I would love to know your thoughts, as I like to share mine. So with that being said, thank you again. I'm going to bid you do take care and be blessed. And until next time, bye.
Na na na